I love going to the gym. And one thing it taught me is you've always got one more in the tank. In life, we'll say things like, man, I'm too tired. I don't feel like studying today. I'm going to wait until tomorrow. You've always got more in the tank because underneath what you think you're capable of is what you're really capable of. Get your notebooks. This is going to be a good one. Now, what we're really going to be talking about today is how often in life we don't push ourselves hard enough. And I don't mean that you have to push yourself until, the brink of exhaustion. This isn't one of those David Goggins motivational edits. This is Lawrence C. Harris. I'm a youth empowerment speaker. I help teens and young adults improve self love, confidence, and their outlook on life. And one of the things that I often talk about is how health, exercise, going to the gym. Maybe for you, that is running, weightlifting, swimming, any form of exercise. It shows you what you're capable of. It shows you that you can do uncomfortable things because lifting weights is pretty uncomfortable. Running is pretty uncomfortable. Swimming, pretty darn uncomfortable. But when you're able to push through the discomfort, you're able to see, wow, I'm capable. And a lot of people don't feel like they're capable. They don't think that can achieve hard things because we think that I can't become the first millionaire in my family. There's no way. There's no way I can be the first business owner. There's no way I can be the first one to go to college. There's no way I can be the first one to have a happy, loving marriage. There's no way I can be the first one to get my own apartment and move out of the city and live a safe life. There's no way. But there is a way. It just takes one more step each day. I'm not saying that you need to go to the gym and you need to do a 3 hour workout on your first day. No, you just do 1 minute, then the next minute, and then the next minute, and then the next minute. And eventually you did a 1.5 hour workout, 1 minute at a time. The reason why people often don't start hard things, whether that hard thing is going to college, starting a business, going to the gym, studying for a test, reading a book, whatever, it's because they make the fear of the thing so much worse in their head than it actually is in reality. Because the way you do 75 curls, so that's when you take the weight and you do this or you do this, stuff like that. The way you do 75 of those is 25 at a time. How do you do 25 at a time? So that's like you do one set of 25 and then you put the weights down and then you do another set of 25. How do you do that? One at a time. Two, three, four, and eventually you get to 75. But people think that I need to do 75 all at once, nonstop, no breaks, and then I gotta get on the treadmill and run for an hour, and then I gotta do this, and then do that, and then do this, and then do that. No, you don't. You just do one thing at a time. How do you become a millionaire? $1 at a time. Obviously, it's like you're not going to make $1 every single day and somehow make $1 million like that. But you get the point. You have to make one sale at a time for your product. If your product is $100, you sell one product at a time. And how do I have my business? How do I go speak at schools and get on podcasts and do all those things? One email at a time. I send an email, and then I send an email, and then I send an email. And every time might not produce results. Like when you go to the gym and you do one workout, you don't see a difference. You see no difference after one day. However, one day, 2 days, 5 days, 10 days, and eventually you go, wow, I lost a couple pounds. Wow, I gained some muscle. Wow, my waist is slimmer. Wow, I can fit into those clothes from 2 years ago. And then eventually you look in the mirror, you're like, oh, I'm gunned up. I'm looking good, you know, and it happens one at a time. But when people are starting and they get to that point of tired, they're like, you get to rep number 25, you're like, man, I can't do it anymore. Can't. One more. Oh, wait, I just did one more. Even though I was tired, even though I felt exhausted, even though it hurt, I did one more. Hold up, let me do two more. Oh, let me do another. Ooh. And then eventually you did 25 more. And you don't have to, you know, push yourself to the brink of death. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying that when we feel exhausted, we feel tired, just do one more. That's it. Because what this is going to teach you to do is that even when it's hard, even when I'm tired, I can keep going. And, it's like our mind thinks that, oh, this is too hard. And it wants to keep us safe. Your brain wants to keep you where it's comfortable, but growth doesn't happen in the comfort zone. Growth does not happen where you're comfortable. It happens when you step beyond that. When you have a seed in the ground, it's in the ground, it's dark, it's safe, it's protected by the ground, right? But in order for that seed to grow, it has to expose itself to the outside world. It has to expose itself to where the animals could eat it. People could step on it. It's dangerous up here, but if the seed stayed under the ground and never broke through, it wouldn't become that giant tree. So if you want to have big results, you have to be willing to step about your comfort zone. And that looks different for everybody. Maybe what you want to do is you want to get a girlfriend. Maybe that's what you want. But I'm nervous to go talk to random people. What if she said this? What if she said that? Just say hello. That's it. Just say hello. My name's Lawrence. My name's Michael. My name's Tyler. Whatever. Hey, what's yours? And eventually somebody gonna say, hi, my name's Sarah. My name's Tasha, whatever her name is. And before you know it, you meet somebody, you'll have a conversation, and eventually it leads to having a girlfriend. That might not happen on the first time. It might not happen on the 10th. It might not even happen on the 100th. But eventually, somebody gonna say yes. It's just math. You're trying to get your first job, but I'm scared if I apply and they say no. I'm scared that they're gonna reject me. I'm scared they're not gonna answer. Just apply. And eventually somebody gonna say yes. Now, or maybe what you want to do is you want to get your first car, right? But what if it costs too much? What if this? What if that? Just try, just get a license. Just test drive something. That's it. You just got to get your foot in the door. And it shows your mind that it's safe to step out your comfort zone because your brain is a wet computer and it has one job: keep you from dying. That is it. Your brain has evolved to keep you from dying. And when you do something that's out your comfort zone, you know that talking to that girl is not going to kill you. But your brain doesn't know that. Your brain thinks this is a threat. Your brain thinks the most terrible, crazy scenario ever. Like, what if you go over and she smacks you and she calls the cops and then she pepper sprays you and you go to prison and you're in there for 15 years? What your brain starts thinking. So what you have to do is when you notice that fear, that discomfort, that what if, that I can't, I'm scared, I'm nervous, just say to yourself, I'm going. And then you go. Because there's a few seconds but where the alarm bell in your brain pops up, and if you catch it before it starts like spiraling, you can override it. So when you say that, oh, well, what if this person thinks something bad about me? What if they judge me? What if the job doesn't hire me? What if that girl rejects me? What if that guy tells me I'm ugly, whatever you like? And you just say, I'm trying anyways, and you go. Just go. That way, you can't overthink it. Because overthinking only happens when you're not doing the thing. Overthinking only happens when you start thinking too much about the thing that you should be doing instead of just doing the thing. When someone jumps out of a plane, I don't think that they're overthinking too much. They're probably like, oh my gosh, what if this happens? What if that happens? But eventually they realize that, okay, if I keep thinking about this so much, I'm going to die. Let me just pull the parachute. And When you're going to the gym and you're first starting out with anything, it's uncomfortable. Like anything, it's uncomfortable. Going to the gym is uncomfortable. Reading a book is uncomfortable. Starting a new job is uncomfortable. Starting a business is uncomfortable. And you need to be able to keep pushing through the discomfort because most people quit their New Year's resolutions because they have all this motivation on January 1st. January 1st, I'm I'm getting six pack abs, I'm getting a slim waist, I'm getting married, I'm going to become a millionaire, I'm starting a business, I'm going to college. January 1st, everyone has all the motivation in the world. But motivation only gets you but so far. Discipline is doing the thing you need to do when you don't want to do it. Motivation is doing the thing you need to do because you want to do it. For example, you're very motivated to go do something that you enjoy. Like if I asked you, do you want to go hang out with your friends and have the best time of your life? Yes, I would love that. You're very motivated to do it. But if I told you, hey, do you want to sit down and for the next hour you read a book? Probably not. If you really like reading, you're motivated to do that. But if you don't like reading, you're not motivated to read a book. And you're always motivated. Like people say things to me such as, man, I just need some motivation. I don't feel motivated. You do feel motivated. You're always motivated to do something. And what this means is that if you're like, man, but I'm not getting out of bed, I'm tired, I don't feel like doing anything, you feel like not doing anything. You're motivated to not do anything. Now, the goal is to take the motivation and move it towards the thing that is beneficial. How do we do this? When you don't feel like doing it, you do it. Your brain has something called, it's going to come to me, neuroplasticity. Yeah, neuroplasticity. So your brain is like a computer. And what happens, let me check this real quick. Yeah, so your brain is like a computer. And what it does is whenever you have a computer and you keep typing something, it keeps, it saves it to like the default autocorrect. Your iPhone is a better example. So your phone is a much better example. When you're typing on your phone and you keep using the same word over and over, it learns from that and it will autocorrect it. So, when you want to make yourself more motivated to do something that is beneficial to you, when you want to make yourself enjoy going to the gym, when you want to make yourself enjoy reading, you have to do it when you don't feel like it, until you don't feel like it, and then do a little bit more. So, if you say that I'm going to read 10 pages of a book, when you get to 10, read one more page. And you're like, well, but I'm tired. I don't feel like doing it. That's the point. If you can do something when you don't feel like doing it, it'll be a lot easier to do that thing when you do feel like it. If you go to the gym when you don't feel like going to the gym, it'll be a lot easier to go to the gym when you do feel like it because you did it when you did not feel like it. So doing it when you do feel like it is a lot easier by comparison. I hope you guys got that. You're probably gonna have to, replay it. And when you feel tired, just say one more. When you don't feel like reading anymore, one more page. You don't feel like studying, one more. Because you're going to sit there and be like, but I don't really feel like it, I'm tired. Ask yourself, am I mentally capable of doing one more? Am I physically capable of doing one more? Am I psychologically and spiritually capable of doing one more? So, if you're not shaking, if you're not drooling off and nodding off every 5 seconds, you can do one more. And that one more will turn to two more. That two more will turn to three more. And before you know it, you are in the best shape of your life. You're the smartest you've ever been. You are the most financially stable you've ever been. And you have achieved your goals because you just did one more until one more turned into two more and then three more. And before you know it, you're unrecognizable. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure you like, comment, share, subscribe. You can also purchase my books, Made for More, where I talk about stress reduction methods, mental health recovery, and ultimately my life story, as well as my book, Power to the People, where we go into things such as building good habits mentally, financially, and emotionally. Obviously, I am not a financial advisor. I'm simply giving the advice that I know and what I have found that works. Also, if you're having a podcast host, school principal, or run a youth organization, you can contact me at lawrence@lawrenceharris.com. Have a wonderful, lovely, and blessed day.